Rob and Slim Show.
Rob and Slim Show.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear us?
We can hear you.
What's
Hi,
going
Jeff.
on?
Not much. How are you doing?
Good.
All right, man.
Jeff Sturge?
That's me.
Is Nick on as well?
Nick should be here any second.
Awesome. How you doing, Jeff?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Freezing, actually.
Oh,
Yeah,
me
it's
too.
fucking cold
I
here,
can only
too.
imagine where you are. It's got to be worse. You're in Canada, right?
Yeah. Where are you guys? What city?
New Jersey.
We're right near
Yeah,
Atlantic
so-
City.
So we're not too far north of you, but we're inland. So yeah, it can get up to it's minus 13 on a nice day around here, which is not
There's
great.
Wow, no, that's not great. Rob and Slim Show.
Hey, it's Nick.
Nick.
Hey, man.
Nick Marinkovich?
Marinkovich.
Marinkovich. Sorry. I was trying not to mess it up, and I messed it up. But how are you doing, Nick?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Good. Are you from Canada as well?
I am. From
Okay.
Toronto.
How did you guys meet up? I know you guys have a graphic novel out called Voyageur, correct?
That's right.
Yeah. I basically I tracked Nick down. I had this idea for a documentary series, and I saw Nick had just produced a a graphic novel called Kink on this bike thief based in Toronto, and he was pretty notorious. Got some nationwide coverage. Anyway, they made this amazing book on him, and so when I saw Nick's art, I said, "This is a guy I want to do. I want working on this series."
Nice.
So
His
the series-
art is amazing.
Yeah,
Nice,
just
thank
the
you,
facial
thank you.
expressions, everything, hey, that
It's-
Nick puts into it.
it's
is
very-
just an
Realistic, yeah. It's very
It's
very
a
awesome.
graphic novel. You guys
Well,
are
this,
doing?
yeah, Voyager is. It's and you guys are making the second book now, correct?
That's right.
Yes, that's
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And what is it about? What is the premise of Voyager?
The premise basically, I don't know, what would you call it, Nicky? I'd say it's like a cross between like The Revenant meets the Da Vinci Code. How's that for a premise?
That's actually a pretty
I'm a
good
little
example.
familiar. I'm a little familiar with the Da Vinci Code. I don't know what the other thing was that you guys said. The Residence.
The Revenant, that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, I know
it's, okay, yeah.
Oh,
Anyway,
very
he's,
recent, where he's like surviving a bear attack.
Yeah,
or
a
something
bear
in the
chews him
snow.
up, and he just like gets back up, and he just keeps on going after a bear
Yeah.
like fucks him up. You
That's
know?
right. So yeah, so it's got this. It's about this kid who basically finds himself it's thrust out of his normal, peasant world in Ireland into this crazy whirlwind adventure, and from his after receiving this magic. Well, I wouldn't call it a magic coin. That kind of like a strange coin from his cousin. And he eventually, this whole adventure leads him into the new world, and that's sort of kind of where we're going now in book 2.
What does the coin represent? Is it like is it something that other groups are after, or like what is it?
Yeah, exactly. Like this coin is basically, it unlocks something, and nobody knows what it is.
Nice.
And Finton doesn't know what it is. But Finton is the guy who has it. And then coming up from Spain is basically this Spanish Inquisitor named Sandoval, and Sandoval knows exactly what's going on, and he's kind of hunting Finton down. So you've got this kid who's basically kind of running scared, and
Okay.
he's yeah.
I got a question. Is there possibly going to be any like Aztec or Mayan connection to this?
There's going to be a big. Well, you guys are in New York, New Jersey, so there's going to be a big Iroquois connection.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
I saw
yeah.
too. It involves a secret society, and that society is a real group.
Yeah. These guys are called the Rosicrucians.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
go
funny.
ahead.
Like when we were researching them, I was looking them up, and I mean, they exist today. There's chapters. There's a chapter in Toronto. There's probably one in New Jersey as well.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they do. Maybe it's just a dinner club today, but
Yeah.
It's like the Freemasons.
Secret societies are very good at keeping their secrets.
Yeah. What and where does what era does it take place? Is it the 17th century?
Yeah,
Yes,
1608.
exactly, yeah.
What did you guys
So-
actually research like that time era?
Yeah. Before I got into this, I was an archaeologist. So I somehow made my way from archaeology into television into writing graphic novels. And so I did.
I got a
I
question.
did a lot of. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
About archaeology. Like, what do you do to get into?
everything.
I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
what do you do to get into that? Like,
Do you go to school for that?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, it's university. I got a BA in archaeology, and actually lived in Ireland for about 3 years after I graduated, and that's sort of where I got a lot of my, a lot of the foundation for Irish history. That I kind of put into the beginning of the book, and kind of where this guy Finton comes from.
Nice.
And so from there, yeah, and then also I did a lot of New World archaeology, which is, basically the first settlers in North America from Europe basically coming over. And this is around the time they did. Like, you had John Smith coming over to Virginia in 1610, and you had Champlain coming over around the same time. And then you had Lord Baltimore, who founded Baltimore, Maryland, wound up in Newfoundland. The weather sucked, so he moved down to Baltimore. And so all these guys were doing this right around the same time. So it's a really, crazy time. I mean, these guys were basically like astronauts. They
cool.
set foot on this planet that nobody had ever really been to before.
That's awesome.
Was
dude.
Cortez in the 1600s too? I don't remember.
Cortez was in the 14,
No,
15.
40. Oh, that was way before that.
Yeah, he had come. I think he'd been down like more around Columbus's time. But then, the Spanish. That was the other thing. So this is sort of the other part of the book, is that you've also got these Spanish who've been in North America or been in America for about 100 years, and they're basically saying they've got these upstarts of the English and the French who, 100 years later were coming over, and the Spanish are like, no, you can't do that. This is ours. Like,
Yeah.
So the French and the English sort of had to, they were kind of pushed up to North America, which, I don't know, you can kind of say who's laughing now sort of thing, but like...
Yeah, that was... Because, like, North America, that was kind of like the backward part of...
That's what nobody wanted.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. That was...
Fuck that place.
Wow.
Mexico was where, like, all the civilizations were.
Wow.
What was the problem with North America?
Too cold?
Too cold?
Too cold?
Yeah, it snowed up there,
Wow.
Well,
There was natives though, right? Like
there's also I guess evidence that there was a big plague that happened in North America and that
Okay.
wiped out like tons of Indians.
Wow.
They don't know.
So nobody wanted that.
Yeah, they don't really
The
know.
plague.
Yeah, they don't really know what happened.
I
in
figured
North
that would have happened in the
America.
warmer weather. Like, I figured the cold would kill everything.
I think it happened just about everywhere, as far as
Yeah.
I know. I think
Yeah.
I think no native no native was safe from that crap they were bringing over from North. Man. I think they lost a lot of natives, pretty much all the way from Brazil right up to
Yeah.
Alaska. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
he's right on that. There's actually like archaeological evidence that they found that shit.
Guys,
okay.
your project right now is it still in the Kickstarter phase?
It is. Book 2 is still in the Kickstarter phase. We're two-thirds of the way there, though, and we've got
That's
2 weeks to go. So,
awesome.
the Voyageur Book 2 on Kickstarter.
So
How-
anyone's
Look it up. Yeah.
is it? Are you guys published through a company?
Yes, that's right. We're published through Guernica Editions. They're a Canadian company. They're actually known more predominantly for literary material. In fact, I believe we're their first venture into graphic novels.
Wow.
And they were really keen on, the subject matter, given as it's a historical drama, rooted in actual characters, actual events in history. And the publisher just really dug the art. So
Why are you
give it a
guys
chance on it.
self-funding it? Why aren't they funding you guys?
They're a small company.
That's
Okay.
the golden question. No, it's the nature of small press publishing today. When it comes
That's
to
what I was
graphic
wondering.
novels, if you're not Marvel or DC, then you're really looking to fund it yourself. I mean, that includes even a big company like Image.
I was going to say like Dark
Walking Dead.
Horses or right.
Well, you think you'll be to the point where, like, after a couple books have great success, do you think then they'll back you guys?
Well, I mean, it's so it's a hope, or at least in terms of sales, that it would be the series would be more self-sustaining, so we wouldn't have to go to crowdfunding in order to get each book out. For sure, I mean that's the goal.
Yeah. That's cool. That's great that, like you said, you're 2/3 of the way there. That's amazing. I saw that earlier. Where can everybody find that fundraiser?
Pardon me?
Where can everybody find the fundraiser site?
Kickstarter.
Yeah, Kickstarter.com.
And just search the Voyageur.
And that's right. And look up the Voyageur Book 2, and you'll find us. I mean, you'll still see our old campaign from Book 1, which we also did on Kickstarter.
That's what I was going to ask you next, if you did a Kickstarter campaign, which you said you did, and how well that went.
Yeah, that one went really well. That one went quite well. So we're hoping to reinvigorate success. But I mean, there's other ways too of if you're a struggling author or an illustrator to get funding. There's government grants. There's provincial or statewide in the U.S. or federal level, whatever. So, we're looking at all different avenues. And Kickstarter, though, is certainly, crowdfunding is sort of a recent thing in the world of publishing. You 10 years ago, you didn't even have crowdfunding.
Yeah.
And it's just it's revolutionized it in a lot of ways.
Awesome.
That, things can get published and you get access to just about anything from a video game to a graphic novel to any sort of crazy invention,
Yeah.
So it's really remarkable.
Yeah.
What kind of rewards do you guys offer?
Apart from actual copies of the book, the hard copy, the ebook as well, we offer a digital companion piece, which is basically like a making of for a lot of people who like to see how the drawings are done, how the characters are designed. Actually, that was really popular with our first campaign, and now again, a lot of people are looking for it on the second campaign. It's about the first one was 65 pages, and this one's going to be 50, and it includes as well, which we didn't mention yet. When we first got started, we did get a government grant here that kind of gave us our footing to actually start this project, and that was based on this 13-page pitch which we submitted. And that's also available with this Art of Voyageur companion piece.
Oh, that's
in case you
cool.
want to see, for those who want to see how it all got started, like right from the very beginning when we were very, very green and,
I saw too. You said that you also draw like donators into the story. You can for a certain amount.
Absolutely, yeah. That's one of our more popular pledges. I mean, we don't have we can't offer many of them just for the sake of we can only incorporate so many people into the story. So we only offer 6.
Oh, wow.
And but people love it, right?
Who wouldn't?
So what they do is if you're local, I'll just meet up with them and take some reference shots, or if not, they just send me some profile shots, and I just work them as characters into the book.
That's cool.
And it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun,
Nick, I saw too. Did you do the artwork for Far Cry Primal?
I did. Yeah. Well, I mean, these Ubisoft games, they're huge productions, right? Yeah. I worked with Toronto-based Juggernaut Studios, and we did the entire opening sequence with I don't know if you guys are familiar with the game. There's this the opening cutscene that a lot of these first-person games start off with.
I haven't played that one. I played the one before that. I think.
Far Cry 3, I loved, but I just never got around to getting the Primal.
And I thought you did, because I remember you mentioned it when it came out.
I really wanted it, but I just didn't have the money to spend at the time.
This one's it takes place in the Stone Age, right?
Yeah.
And it's pretty awesome. Like the entire opening sequence, it's with the shaman telling the story via these cave paintings, And the studio I was working with, they literally, they mapped a digital cave,
I got
a huge cave system, and like I was drawing the cave paintings on it. It's pretty cool.
Wow.
I got a question. Did you guys like study apparently in France there's like this cave that has all these like paintings in it, and they
absolutely, man, and
dude,
there's
that's
that,
cool as hell, man. I love that shit.
There's also this Werner Herzog documentary. It's called Cave of Forgotten Dreams, I believe.
Yeah.
You check that out. I mean, he really gets into it.
Did you ever see the caves in South America that you could swim through? Like, and
yeah.
they actually thought that was part of like a spiritual journey, because when you're swimming, I think from the freshwater to the saltwater, you see all these like crazy like lights.
Here's the weird thing:
Wow.
they found more. They found ones that are older than the ones in France that are in Indonesia.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. That's pretty cool.
It's a brand new discovery. They just found.
Wow, they just found him. Wow, dude.
Crazy, dude.
That's awesome.
It's wild, man. When you look at them, you see a lot of overlapping art. Say of a picture of like a bison or something.
Yeah.
And you think, why were they overlapping it? And then what they realize is with the flickering of the fire in the cave, it makes it look animated. Like, isn't that wild?
Oh,
It's like prehistoric animation.
They knew. They figured this out.
I didn't know that Far Cry Primal was set back then, because Pete mentioned that earlier before the show. We were talking about. I was telling him how you did work for that, and see, I only played the other one, Far Cry 3, so I thought they were all like kind of like that. I didn't know they were just completely separate like stories and timelines.
I'm not sure about the first three. This one is. This one is. It's like all on its own.
Oh, wow.
I can't speak for the previous ones. But,
yeah.
I'm not too sure. I do know that Primal was a what do you call it? I guess customer voted on. Like they put out a poll. They were gonna be like prehistoric times or Ice Age or like whatever. Like they had all these different things, and the Primal setting was what most people voted for. Yeah.
Wow.
Have you guys ever heard of an author named Graham Hancock before?
No, not me.
No, I don't know that guy.
Basically, okay, he's been on the Joe Rogan podcast.
All right.
This guy has a theory that like human beings have been alive like longer than like what like your history textbooks tell you.
Right.
Like, this guy thinks we've been along for like millions of years. Like,
well, they say there were originally like 6 different species of humans.
But this guy believes that like Homo sapiens
was around for a
he
long
thinks
longer,
like we're like really ancient, like because
could be.
He says like the Sphinx, like if you look at like the was it like the weathering marks on the Sphinx, they predate.
Oh yeah. He wrote like Hammer of the Gods or something like that.
Fingerprints of the gods.
But I find that hard to point down to just Homo sapien, because again, they say about 6 different species of human beings, so you don't know. You can't really just say, it was Homo sapiens. It could have been any of the other 5.
And also, like they know the Egyptians chipped away something on the Sphinx. Like they chipped like their pharaoh.
Oh, the nose, right?
No. They chipped the pharaoh's face into that fucking statue.
Oh.
Like it was.
They redid it.
Yeah, there was something else in that statue.
Like, fuck that guy. We want our guy.
They're like, fuck that guy. We're putting Khufu in there.
Yeah, he's got this, and he thinks like everything ties into to one big thing. And he could be right, man. I mean, like we're so disconnected from all this stuff that's happened in the past that who knows exactly what was going on like 40,000 years ago. We were apparently exactly like we are now, so some shit had to go down between 40,000 years and now, like a lot, right? Like the iceberg. Yeah.
So I have a question for you guys. One of you guys is obviously a writer, the other one is an artist. Has it always been that way?
Yeah. For me anyway, yeah.
What you said?
I mean, like as an artist, sometimes you think of your own writing projects, but as well at the same time, with every book I'm doing, I'm still honing my own craft. It's always a learning always a learning process. At least that's the way I approach it. You know that
I've got a really good Stickman graphic novel coming out.
Oh, okay. Well, I have a question for the artist out of you two. What has it always been? Have you always wanted to do graphic novels, or was there any other avenues that you wanted to go through?
Oh, for me, as from the artistic perspective.
Yes.
Well, yeah. I mean, I grew up. You know, I was a big comic fan when I was a kid, and actually for a long time I stopped it. You know, when I was in high school and in university, and then I just got like really back into it. And I mean, I love illustration in general, like you know, say poster art. I've always loved, you know, editorial art. I really love the shit coming out in like the 60s and 70s. You know, that golden era.
That's what your work reminds me of. Yes.
Yep.
You know? Well, thanks, because that's what I'm going for, man. Like that's the shit I really, really love. But I've always wanted to turn that into stories, you know? So it was always a done deal for me that I'd be working in graphic novels, for sure.
And as far as the writer of the group, did you feel the same way? Was it always like, I want to write for comic books, or did you want to write novels, short stories, screenplays? What was it?
No, I pitched. I had Voyageur as a. I work in television. Work on like just various documentaries for Discovery Channel and stuff, which is kind of where I had Graham Hancock in the back of my head, and I was like, oh yeah, when you started talking about him. But no, I had Voyageur. Like I wanted to make it a television series, so I wrote it as a script. And, you know, for whatever reason, no one wants to give an unproven writer millions of dollars to make a TV series. Right. But I did say that, like, I did think that, like, you know, and then I remembered Nick from this previous project, and I said to him, look, you know, like, this is this series that I've got, and you know I kind of know what's going to happen from beginning to end, and, you know, what do you think of it? And Nick was sort of like, yeah, sure, you know, another penniless writer trying to get me to do work for free. So, you know, and he's like, you know, and he's looking at me and he's saying, like, you know, oh yeah, sure, man, whatever. I'm really interested, yeah. And I was like, you know, he doesn't care. So I said, so this is when I said to him, like, look, why don't you just draw like 5 or 6 pages of this, which is what this sort of initial work was that Nick was talking about earlier of the Voyageur. And I said, I'll just send it in for a grant, and you know, maybe we can get a couple of $100 or $1,000 or whatever, and you know, maybe we just try to work from there. And anyway, we ended up getting like $15,000, and that really sort of springboarded. Like we were floored. We didn't really think that was going to happen.
Right.
And you know, so for our first foray as a tandem into this, you know, this series, and you know, I was kind of like saying, you know, putting up a phrase, see, I told you. I told you. But in the meantime, I'm like, oh, so you know, so cool. That's how it went. So we got that sort of jump with this grant money, and that's really how we got the first part of book 1 done.
That's awesome.
From there.
Wow. Yeah. Jeff and Nick, thank you so much for talking to us, guys. We have to wrap this up, but where can everybody find you guys?
You can find me on Twitter. You can find the Voyageur on Facebook. And most importantly, as we said, I don't want to exhaust this too much, you can find us on Kickstarter.com.
And how do you spell the Voyageur? It's Voyageur.
Voyageur. So it's sort of this is what the earliest Quebec settlers, that's what they call themselves.
That's because it took me a minute when I was searching you guys earlier.
Yeah, so it's got that U in there, which is tricky, right?
Yes.
Voyageur.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for talking to us. And Nick, I just saw the picture you drew. It's awesome. It's awesome, dude.
Nice, man.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm gonna splash some color on it, but I'm glad you guys like it.
Oh, thank you so much, brother. And like I said, we will cut an ad and run it in our shows in the upcoming ones. Go to Messages Slim, and you'll see Nick. Yep, top one. But thank you so much, dude.
Oh wow,
it's awesome.
That's really fucking cool, man. Awesome. Let me make sure
that's the best one.
But yeah, like I said, we will cut an ad and we will put it in our shows.
Oh, look at how serious
in all the upcoming
we all
shows.
look. And
yeah.
Slambo just looks like he rules
just menacing in the back.
That's awesome, guys.
Oh, thank
It
you
was
guys.
great talking to you guys. It was awesome. Cool. Hopefully
Yeah,
we can,
guys. Thanks
we can
for
be
having
too.
us, man.
Anytime, man. Have a great one.
Take care.
Cheers. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
That's a really cool picture.
Wow.